Hey guys, literally Leafy here, telling you that for a limited time only, if you go ahead and hit that like button, you will literally fucking get this literally Leafio card. Super ultra rare Leafio card. That's right, 0% scam, 100% legit. Get this Leafio card delivered directly under your fucking pillow.
Shut up, go home.
Hey YouTube, Stagnant Giant here. Welcome to the first episode of my brand new series, Retro Reviews. A series in which we look back at video games that I grew up playing in my childhood and teenage years. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Radiata Stories for the PlayStation 2, an action JRPG released on January the 27th in 2005 by Square Enix. And remember, as always guys, if you like what you see and hear here for whatever reason, be sure to hit that subscription button and leave a like and a comment while you're at it. But without further ado, sit back, hold on to your ass, because we're about to start this retro review. The graphics is certainly one of the strong points of this game. This game uses almost a cel-shaded anime style that still holds up today, and utilizes a fixed camera that stays focused on the main character as you traverse through the various locations of the game. Typically that would be a downside in a game, as I normally like to be able to control my own cameras, however it's handled fairly beautifully in this game. I can't think of any time where the fixed camera ever resulted in any issues, except for maybe occasionally when in a room the camera may be zoomed out a little too far. As far as textures go, each texture is beautifully done. Nothing ever seems out of place, and every set piece is appropriate to the scenery. Characters all have features that are clear and unique to that character. You don't see any two characters that look the same, which is very well implemented considering how every NPC in this game is unique. Environments are all varied, beautiful, treacherous. You find yourself in various locations ranging from mountain paths to dark forests, and even little settlements on the sides of roads. When it comes to graphics, I'd give this game an 8.9 out of 10. The graphics, as I said before, still hold up today, and the game also comes with the added bonus of being able to be played in one of two aspect ratios, one of which being 16:9. Much like the graphics in this game, the gameplay is very unique. Combat is handled in real time. While your allies are controlled by AI, you control Jack, the main character. When it comes to the allies that you can get in this game, the party members, almost every NPC in the game is recruitable to your party. That's over 175 or 179, even better, recruitable members. Every NPC has its own personality, recruitment process, daily schedule, and even equipment, meaning that there are quite literally an endless amount of party combinations. Not really, but there might as well be. There is a full day and night cycle, which is implemented pretty well in this game, allowing NPCs to again have their own schedules depending on the time of day. If you go into the more seedier parts of the main city, you may see delinquents out at night that weren't there during the day, and the more reputable parts of town, you'll find shopkeepers have their shops open during the day, and members of the Fighters Guild may be out training or getting groceries. The day and night cycle is also used for the wilderness areas, as certain enemies may be awake at certain times of the day, leading to unique encounters depending on what time of day you decide to go out and adventure. As far as combat is concerned, you can choose from up to 4 different types of weapons. You have sword, greatsword, axe, and spear. Each weapon type has its own combat moves that you unlock while using the weapon, and your combos can be any combination of those moves unlocked, depending on the weapon's points that it comes with. Each weapon, just like every NPC, also has its own Volti Blast, which is a limit break-like attack. that you can use once a meter that is filled as you take damage and deal damage over time. As stated, each NPC also has their own Voltiblast. When it comes to NPCs, not only do they have their own Voltiblast, but they also are not bound to the 4 weapon types like the main character is. Meaning that even though Jack Russell can only use sword, spear, greatsword, or axe, you may find NPCs using whips or throwing knives or daggers. This makes the NPCs even more unique and valuable in your party. And to finish up the gameplay as well as the NPCs, you can also build relationships with your NPCs, which may lead to special events. Not every event has to do with NPCs, as there are certain timed events that can happen at any moment, and depending on your location in the world, you may or may not be present for those events, such as halfway through the game when you're able to go to a fireworks show with a NPC that you have a high relationship with. And when it comes to this game's gameplay, I give it a 9 out of 10. Up next, we take a look at this game's sound and music. The various sounds and music in this game are all just as unique as the gameplay and graphics of the game. When it comes to music, the music is very varied, ranging from upbeat, jazzy tunes for the towns to dark, mysterious themes for the caves. You also have victorious battle themes as well as epic boss battle music. The music always fits the location, and though it's not your typical RPG music, especially for a fantasy setting, it always strangely works for the situation that you're in. From dwarven cities to elven forests, the music always does nothing less than add to the moment of the game that you're in. Whether you're hunting for dark spirits or demons in a haunted manor, or you're looking for alligators to fight in the sewers, the sounds and music are always fitting for the situation. When it comes to the music and sounds in this game, I give it an 8 out of 10. And now we're at the final part of this review, the story and plot. Now I warn you now, this is going to have spoilers in it, so if you would rather not have any part of the story spoiled, you may want to skip this section. I'll have an annotation to the time that you can skip to just get the rating for the story and not get any of the spoilers. And I'll give you a moment to go ahead and take care of that before I continue. Just kidding, we're jumping right into it. You have been warned. The game is set in the world of Radiata. It is a land torn by tension between humans and non-humans, white elves, dark elves, dwarves, goblins, etc. And you play as a young human boy by the name of Jack Russell. Yes, just like the dog. And you are finally old enough to compete in the annual tournament to join the Radiata Knights to follow in your deceased father's footsteps. You get recruited after the tournament and join a team of knights consisting of you, Ridley Silverlake, and Gans Rothschild. You get sent on various quests for the knights until one day your team's attacked by orcs, and Ridley is struck down, but saved by an elf using a ritual to infuse a dying elf soul into Ridley, thus saving her. When Lord Jasne, a noble as well as Ridley's father, learns about this, he pressures the commander of the knights to disband your team. Jack later finds work with Theater Van Cor, a warrior mercenary type guild in the main city, where he continues his journey until tensions between the humans and non-humans build more, and the dwarves refuse to trade with the humans any longer. The knights send a brigade led by Cross Ward to speak with the dwarves. However, Cross goes against his orders and leads an attack against them, killing many and enslaving the rest. This starts a war between the humans and non-humans. What an ass. Ridley, who is running away, comes to Jack in the dead of night to speak with him. She gives him a choice: to go with her and join the non-humans, or to stay with the humans and fight against her. The decisions are two sides of the same coin. They essentially lead to the same boss battle to end the ending depending on which side you choose. The ultimate consequence of the choice is if you choose to go with the non-humans, the goblins, elves, dwarves, then you can no longer go to any human settlements or towns, because if you do, you'll be attacked on sight by any humans. And same for if you side with the humans. At that point, you can no longer go into any of the non-human locations, or else you'll be attacked on sight by them. At this time during the story, an ancient force has returned, the dragons. They have come to restore order to the world, but to what end? You make your choice. You go with Ridley, you join the non-humans, or you stay behind, and remain with the humans. You pick a side, you meet new characters, you defeat dragons, and participate in a war between humans and non-humans. After the final dragon is slain, Ridley informs Jack that she is going south to meet her destiny. After a final skirmish between humans and non-humans, Jack follows Ridley, and finds her at the end of the world. This is also where he meets the 2 remaining dragons, and the final battle ensues. If you join the non-humans, then you'll encounter the Gold Dragon. The Gold Dragon will use Ridley as a vessel to destroy all the humans, and you must stop the Silver Dragon from stopping the Gold Dragon. At this point, this is the final boss battle for either side. No matter which side you choose, you fight the Silver Dragon at the end, but for different reasons. As stated, if you joined the non-humans, then you'll be fighting the Silver Dragon to protect Ridley, so that she can perform her destiny and rid the world of humans. If you chose to side with the humans, then the Silver Dragon succeeds in stopping Ridley, striking her down. The Silver Dragon has just saved all humans and doomed non-humans. And instead of celebrating with the Silver Dragon, Jack instead attacks him out of anger, thus starting the final battle in that storyline. Without spoiling any other information, I'll leave it at that. There's much more to the story than what I listed here. Side quests once you join Theater Vancour. As it is a mercenary fighters guild, you do get contracts from the NPCs throughout the game, which leads you on many strange adventures. Many NPCs have various side quests that they'd like you to do. And there are many locations to explore, important NPCs to meet. So there's much more to experience in this story that I haven't mentioned and I haven't mentioned it to both save time and to also not spoil too much of the content. For the story, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. The story is, like all other parts of this game, extremely unique, filled with lots of side content and a lot of humor as well in the script. And that's going to do it for this review. I hope you enjoyed that review, that retro review of Radiata Stories for the PlayStation 2. It's not a very well-known game that I've noticed from experience, and if you have a PlayStation 2, I wholeheartedly advise that you pick this game up and give it a try. If you're a fan of JRPGs, or RPGs in general, especially with a fantasy setting, then this is a must-have. The game is rich with content, the script is full of humor, I forgot to mention that the voice acting is superb in this game. It's very well done. The main character's voice does get a little grating from time to time, but the game as a whole is pretty amazing experience in my opinion, and is one of my favorite games of all time. Let's do another little quick rundown of the scores up to this point. The graphics got an 8.9 out of 10. The gameplay got a 9 out of 10. The sound and music got an 8 out of 10. And we gave the story and plot an 8.5 out of 10. And that brings our rating to an 8.6 out of 10 for this game. And that is my unbiased opinion on this game. As I said before, if you have a PlayStation 2, or if you're using a emulator, how dare you, then this is a must-have game for your collection and you will not regret adding it. Again, I hope you found this review helpful. Again, this was Stagnant Giant. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Everybody stay awesome.